יודע מה אני רוצה היום, אבל הכל משתנה פתאום, וזה בסדר, אני לא אשם, כי זה רצון השם. אני הולך לא רואה את הסוף, מאמין שיהיה רק טוב. אני קטן, כן אני קטן, התמונה גדולה, וכל מה שקורה זה סבבה, לא מפחד משום דבר, כי אני בידיים של אבא, של אבא שלי. הכל משמיים, עצום את העיניים, הכל משמיים, עצום את העיניים. יודע מה אני רוצה היום, אבל הכל משתנה פתאום, וזה בסדר, אני לא אשם, כי זה רצון השם. אני הולך לא רואה את הסוף, מאמין שיהיה רק טוב. אני קטן, כן אני קטן, והתמונה גדולה, וכל מה שקורה זה סבבה, לא מפחד משום דבר, כי אני בידיים של אבא, של אבא שלי. עצום את העיניים, הכל משמיים, עצום את העיניים. Sometimes it's plain too easy to see, but I know that he's taking care of me. So I'll do away with my vision for today, and I'll let things play out in a godly way. My little human eyes just don't get the picture here. I got no reason to fear, I got no reason to fear. הכל משמיים, עצום את העיניים. Let's go!
Erev Tov, everyone. Welcome back to our series of KULANU, Shavuot edition. Again, big thanks to Alata Nazarenko and the Rappaport Center team. And we look forward to our participation of our clergy who will be leading us in this moment of song. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Alachua. Again, thanks so much.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Rabbi Septimus. We are so happy that you are joining us tonight for another KULANU. It's such a special event, and we're so happy that you're with us. Again, we know that you can't see each other or hear each other, but we know that in true KULANU fashion, you will be dancing and singing along with all of our clergy as they share their songs with you. We are also recording this event, so you'll be able to watch it after, both on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Rabbi Neil Blumoff.
Thank you so much, Alachua. It's so nice, and thank you, Rabbi Septimus. It's so nice to be together, drawing strength really from each other in this time of drawing near to Torah as well. We're really looking forward to the beautiful musical offerings and Torah that we'll share, and ways that we can continue to inspire not only our own communities, but the communities out in the world as well, as we live Torah and song together. So we're going to really hear from some really wonderful folks. We've got scheduled Cantor Abby Gostein, who's going to sing, and then after I'll offer something, cantorial soloist Sarah Avner, Rabbi Monty Eliasov, Rabbi Rebecca Reese, Cantor Yitzchak Ben Moshe, and Rabbi Cantor Rabbi Sherwin, finishing with the cherry on top with some Torah by Rabbi Diane Milner as well. So hopefully you're enjoying, and we have a chance to sing our way through each day. Hopefully we've had some really beautiful moments and memories of Shavuot as we look forward to, God willing, a year of health, goodness, and restoration of all things physical, spiritual, and emotional for us. So Cantor Gostein, when you are ready, if you want to introduce what you're singing, and then we'll take it from there. Thank you. Good evening.
Absolutely. And we were asked to share some music from some favorite Torah text, and I am going to be sharing a song called Ruach Elohim, and this is a setting of the priestly benediction by Cantor Lisa Levine. And this text comes from the book of Numbers, and actually from our Torah portion for this week from Naso. And it's text that some of you may be familiar with. It's the text known as the priestly benediction, or Birkat HaKohanim. And I will go ahead and sing, and if you know it, please join with me. Ruach Elohim, may God's Spirit be with you. Ruach Elohim, keep you safe from harm. May the love of God be your shelter from every storm. That's with wishes of peace for all of you.
Thank you, Cantor Gostein. Thank you, so beautifully offered and beautifully received, and for you too as well. It's not just a one-way street, all of this. So thank you for centering us in such a calm, beautiful way. I wanted to share something also that certainly speaks to Shavuot, but also looks ahead to the rest of the summer and to the fall as well. And Shavuot is a time when we receive, of course, the gift of Torah. It's called Matan Torah, and it's a gift that has the power and the potential to bring us together. And now that we've sort of entering now into June, we are looking towards the summer with the great themes of brokenness and exile, maybe of our summer plans or whatever else might be, but certainly Tisha B'Av and the rebuilding of our homes is something very important for us as Jewish people. Worthy of our homes being worthy of a place where God can be invited into. I miss guests in my home, that's for sure. And in the Talmud, in Brachot, we read a teaching from Rav Yitzchak Bar Shmuel, teaching in the name of Rav, who teaches at night the Kadosh Baruch Hu, our God, sits and roars like a lion and says, Oy la banim, woe to the children. Because of their actions, my sanctuary was destroyed and my sanctuary was burned, and who thus all live in exile apart from each other among the nations of the world, not able to see each other. And in the summer, one of the things that I like to do is to go to Israel every summer. This summer I'll be in Austin, which is great too. But in Israel, I like to hang out and hear a lot of good music. And for the few years now, there's been a reviving interest in prayer and liturgical poetry. It's something that many people write about, including Yossi Klein Halevi, who's a dear friend of this community as well. And one of the great intermixer of traditions and innovation is Yemeni-born Shai Tzabari, an Israeli who with his musical voice and talent brings God to the community center. Here is his pining away for Hamelech, for God, the one who brings direction. And we pray for this discernment, and we will continue to pray for this as we enter into the summer and into Tisha B'Av, and we read Lamentations, and we witness again in our liturgy the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash, and all through the weeks leading up to Rosh Hashanah, when God willing, Hamelech, our God, is to find a holy habitation on earth, and we are to find our ways back together the best we can. The words are very simple, Hamelech tiveni hadarecha. God will yet provide direction for us. It's a little different than what you heard and what you might hear later on, but what are you going to do? So it's a Yemeni flavor with improvisation. We'll see what happens. It's it's usually with a Doombek or something, but I felt called to do this one today. And hearing Shai Tzabari sing it in Jerusalem is really beautiful. So maybe you can kind of clap along. I'll assume that that's the case, because I assume good things about all things. So it goes like this. I'll do a little bit of it and then improvise. Hamelech tivieni hadarecha hadarecha Hamelech tivieni hadarecha. That's the whole thing, y'all. Try it. Hamelech tivieni hadarecha hadarecha Hamelech tivieni hadarecha. Hamelech tivieni hadarecha hadarecha Hamelech tivieni hadarecha. Hamelech tivieni hadarecha hadarecha Hamelech tivieni hadarecha. Maybe you can keep doing this a little bit. Hamelech tivieni hadarecha hadarecha Hamelech tivieni hadarecha hadarecha Hamelech tivieni hadarecha hadarecha Hamelech tivieni hadarecha Hamelech tivieni hadarecha hadarecha Hamelech tivieni hadarecha. A little Yemeni flavor kind of push it back to our friend Sarah Avner with a beautiful song as well to inspire us.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Blumoff. That was really that was beautiful and fun, and I was clapping along. And as you are so positive, I'm sure everyone out there was clapping along as well. So if we roll back our Torah a few weeks to Shabbat Kedoshim, we find these words, love your neighbor as yourself. And when we plan things, of course, we don't always know how relevant the words we are going to share are going to be for the moment that we share them. But here we are in quite a rough and tumble time for our country. And it would seem that this idea of loving your neighbor as yourself is very real for us. So Jacob Spike Krause has written this melody that we'll sing today. There's some repeat after me. That's totally up to you. I hope you do join in though. When we teach the kids this concept of love your neighbor as yourself, we also think about saying to them, if you don't like it, don't do it to anybody else. So here we are with this little piece of Torah from the book of Kedoshim. As we move into these coming days and weeks, may we remember this. May we hold this in all of our interactions with other people, where we always know that we should love our neighbor as we love ourselves.
Sarah, thank you so much. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my new favorites now. So thank you for teaching that. And I'm going to go back to the recording, as we all can, to be newly inspired as much as we can. So it's really, really cool. Sarah, thank you so much. So it's really great to hear Sarah's voice and Abby's voice as well. And we're going to hear Rebecca Reese, Rabbi Rebecca Reese, and let her introduce her song and do her thing. But it's really nice, especially, Sarah, as you mentioned, for us to take stock of where we are in this particular moment, to be inspired by the gift of song. So Rabbi Reese, whenever you're ready.
Amen. So yeah, we did plan this a few weeks ago, and at that time, my mind immediately went to one of my favorite songs that evokes Torah for me, which actually is a quotation out of our oral Torah, actually out of our Mishnah in Mishnah Avot. So what I brought today is Steve Draken's setting of Al Shlosha Devarim, not only because it's uplifting, but because it carries this beautiful principle of the idea that the world actually stands on three things, that it would stand on Torah, Torah, which at its root means teaching. And this has been such a holy and special time of teaching. But that it also stands on Avodah, which was in a very important time, service in a very important place. And now the rabbis have transformed it for us to be Avodah Shebalev, the service that we do in our hearts, our spirituality, our prayer. And then, of course, that very important third leg of this stool, the one that I think if it could only suffuse our world along with the other two, we would find much more peace and gentleness, because it is Gemilut Chasadim. It is our acts of love and kindness, and very often our acts of healing and our acts of hope. So this is the song I'm gonna uplift tonight. Let me share this with you. Last time. Shavuot Tov, everybody.
Thank you, Rabbi Reese. A beautiful song of connection. And let me just say this, Rebecca, while you won the background award tonight as well. Not only because it's a really lovely, inspirational, but it's like 3D. You like lifted someone like, and here's the Mishnah. Look at this.
Exactly. Here's the Kahari Mishnah. Here's the Koran Talmud. Like, yeah, we're bringing the oral Torah tonight as well.
I love it. And I love that that Shavuot has really become not only an agricultural holiday, but Rabbi Reese, as you're demonstrating, as we all are, really a chagiga, a celebration of the Jewish bookshelf. And it's really lovely to be able to pull not only books, but compositions as well, and to really allow us to a chance to appreciate each other's voices and each other's inspirations in a particularly needy time. Thank you so very much. Cantor Yitzchak Ben Moshe, going to bring the fire. I know he is. He's got it, and we're so happy to have you and to have your choice of song and to see your beautiful punim as well.
Okay, I don't know how fiery this is going to be, but the text I chose was actually one from the Siddur. If you're familiar with the weekday liturgy, it's from the passage called Kedusha de Sidra, which is part of the concluding prayers of weekday Shacharit. and it's also in the afternoon service for Shabbat and holidays. And it includes these words, and just a moment, I'll put them on the screen. There. Baruch Eloheinu shebaranu lichvodo v'hivdilanu min hatoim v'natan lanu Torah-themed. Praises our God who created us for his glory, setting us apart from those who go astray, giving us the Torah, which is truth. And this passage just brings to me how much of a great gift the Torah is. We read in the 7 weeks of the counting of the Omer, we read chapter by chapter, Pirkei Avot. And then we start over through the summer months, again, reading a chapter every Shabbat of Pirkei Avot. And the first Mishnah of Pirkei Avot begins with the words, Moshe kibel Torah miSinai u'mesarah leYoshua. Moses received Torah from Sinai and passed it along to Yehoshua, who passed it along to the elders, who passed it along to the prophets, who passed it along to Anshe Knesset HaGedolah, the men of the great assembly, who are the sort of proto-rabbis. And now we have this Torah in front of us as well. It has been passed down to us. It is a wonderful, wonderful gift, a Yerusha, an inheritance that we have that gives us so much to learn from. The famous rabbinic saying is that Shiv'im panim la Torah, there are 70, that is to say, infinite facets to the Torah. There is always something to be learned from it. Now, this tune is an old nigun, and speculation is that it started somewhere in the East, among the Mizrahi Jews, and found its way to Eastern Europe. So it's not the one that's really familiar, or maybe it is familiar to some of you, and this is how it goes. Baruch Eloheinu shebaranu lichvodo ve'ivdilanu min hatoim v'natan lanu Torah-themed. Baruch Eloheinu shebaranu lichvodo ve'ivdilanu min hatoim v'natan lanu Torah-themed. Baruch Eloheinu shebaranu lichvodo ve'ivdilanu min hatoim v'natan lanu Torah-themed. Baruch Eloheinu shebaranu lichvodo ve'ivdilanu min hatoim v'natan lanu Torah-themed. Baruch Eloheinu shebaranu lichvodo ve'ivdilanu min hatoim v'natan lanu Torah-themed. Baruch Eloheinu shebaranu lichvodo ve'ivdilanu min hatoim v'natan lanu Torah-themed. Shavuot Tov, everyone.
Cantor Ben Moshe, that's fabulous. Before you disappear, just let me, by the way, fire was brought for sure. And somebody, I don't know, I'm going to have to check this with you. I got a private message during your singing. They were paying attention, of course, but I think you won the screen sharing award today as well. Was that your backyard? Somebody wants to know if that's your backyard. No, I don't know. I'm just asking. What is that a scene of something that's dear to you? Those beautiful mountainscapes?
I just wanted to evoke Har Sinai.
Oh, you did in a big way. So beautiful. Well, thank you very much, Cantor Ben Moshe. Really lovely and very inspirational as well. And now our friend, everybody's favorite Rabbi Cantor, Rabbi Sherwin, is coming up. And I want to hear your explanation of this Sababa tune. It's all good, Rabbi Cantor. Rabbi, I just can't wait to be inspired by you.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to see you. I'm honored to have my son, Sam Jordan, who is a professional musician, and he's, at home a lot. He's known you long enough to call you Cantor B. So
it works. Fine with me.
Yeah, we're really happy to have Sam sitting in with me. He's been sitting in with me for all of my Shabbat services for my congregation, and it's been pretty cool to spend this much time with him because neither one of us are ever at home. So here we are. It's all good. I am called glass half full girl by my bandmates and by most people who know me. I always look for the positive. I look for the good. And even in the worst of times, and we know that we are kind of having the worst of times right now. It's very emotional. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a tremendous amount going on just, 5 miles down the road from me in downtown Austin. And it is a challenging time to look for the good. So when talking about our favorite pieces of Torah, we're going to roll all the way back to the very beginning, to Bereshit, where God saw all that God had made and said it was good. One, two. 1, 2. It's all good. It's all good. God made it and it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. God made it and it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. God made it and it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. God made it and it's all good. We thank you, God, for the gifts you bring, for the food we eat, for the songs we sing. We thank you, God, for the earth and sky, for our family's love as the days go by. It's all good. It's all good. God made it and it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. God made it and it's all good. We thank you, God, for the night and day, for the gift of Torah that shows us the way. We thank you, God, for our Sabbath rest, for you are one and we are blessed. It's all good. It's all good. God made it and it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. God made it and it's all good. Hodu Adonai, L'Adonai Kito. Hodu L'Adonai, L'Adonai Kito. Hodu L'Adonai, L'Adonai Kito. Hodu L'Adonai, L'Adonai Kito. Vayar Elohim ekol asher asa, vehine tov me'od. Vayar Elohim ekol asher asa, vehine tov me'od. It's all good. It's all good. God made it and it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. God made it and it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Join me. God made it and it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. God made it and it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. God made it and it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. all good. May we find all the goodness that we can grab from our lives, from Torah, from now and for the future. We need goodness. Let's find it together. Shavuot Tov.
Thanks, Robbie. Really beautiful. And Sam, what an amazing privilege to be able to see you. The years have been very, very kind to you, sir.
Thank you
And
very
Robbie,
much.
your congregations are very, very lucky to have you, and we're lucky to have you in Austin when we can. So thank you very much, everyone.
Glad
We
to
really
be
want to give thanks to Robbie and Sam and Yitzchak and Rebecca and Sarah and Abby, and of course to Alachua and Rachel and to Daniel Septimus as well, all of us to be able to come together. We really hope that you continue to enjoy this Kulanu. It certainly is something that empowers us. And as we have turned Torah into song, I think Rabbi Dan Milner is going to turn song into Torah. I believe that's the case. And so Rabbi Milner, we're looking forward to your Torah, and it's hopefully it'll be nice to see you in just a moment.
Hello, thank you everybody. I hope everybody can see me. I just wanted to share a very quick word of Torah, which relates to everything that's being said here tonight. We mentioned that Shavuot is, Rabbi Blumoff mentioned that Shavuot is, about celebrating the Jewish bookshelf, but I think it's also about celebrating the Jewish self and what Shavuot is really all about. And that's Matan, Zman Matan Torah-themed, the time of receiving our Torah. And that's what I want to talk about very quickly, very briefly with you all. When we think about what the giving of the Torah was about, it was this beautiful moment where the Jewish people were poised and ready to go meet HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to meet God like a bridegroom and a bride ready to be under the chuppah, under the canopy, the marriage canopy together. But unfortunately, we know based on the Zohar and other sources as well, the Jewish people, what did they do? Instead of being there ready to go, they slept in. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu was waiting at the altar saying, where are my people? And Moshe had to drag them out of their beds. And it's for that reason that according to the Magen Avraham, we have this practice of something called Tikkun Leil Shavuot, where we are literally fixing the mistakes of our past, where we stay up all night, we're learning Torah, we're anticipating it. And so not only can we meet HaKadosh Baruch Hu at Mount Sinai on time, but we can even be early, and we can show our zrizut, our enthusiasm, and our excitement about what this day, about what Shavuot is really all about. But the big question that I want to ask right now is, did we actually mess something up? Did we miss something? Or maybe not, right? We all think about these big moments in our lives where we say, oh, if only I had been there at that time, if only I had done this at that moment, things would have been different. And so for centuries, the Jewish people felt that way. If only we had been there on time, if only we had woken up a little bit early, maybe things would have been different. So I want to suggest the following based on the Sefer Netivot Shalom by the Slonim Rebbe, who says that the reason why we say Zman Matan Torah-themed, the time of the giving of our Torah, is because the Torah is given constantly in every year, in every generation, and to every individual in their unique ways, constantly. There's no one moment that defines the giving of the Torah. Yes, there was Har Sinai, but the Torah is nitzachit. The Torah is eternal and is given constantly, every year, every hour, every day to every single Jew, each in their own individual ways. So we should never feel like, oh, we missed out on a moment, because we have the ability to define our moments based on the ways that we live our lives and the Torah that we receive constantly. We all have the opportunity to receive the Torah anew, and Shavuot provides us with that glimpse, that reality, that knowledge that we have the ability to bring Torah down to earth. We can bring heaven down to earth. And so, as has been mentioned by a couple of different esteemed members of the panel, we all have to look for the good, the positives in these moments of darkness, these moments of challenge, these moments of trial that we're all going through, that we're all experiencing right now as a country and as a community. And I want to suggest that one way to be able to do that is to focus on the Torah that you're receiving now, to focus on the things in your life that become priorities. Maybe last year they weren't priorities for you, but now they are. Maybe last year something wasn't as important for you. Maybe last year something wasn't so pressing. Now perhaps it is. to think about others, to think about the way you're living your lives, the way you're spending your time, the way you're relating to family and community. All of these things become priorities for us. This is a Torah that we're receiving constantly, constantly anew. And for us to take advantage of that and to ask ourselves, how am I going to respond to the Torah that's given to me this year and given only to me this year? And Bezrat Hashem, the Torah that you receive this year, your own personal brand of Kedusha, your own personal brand of holiness, will be a holiness which goes out and infuses the entire Jewish community and Kol Yoshvei Tevel, the whole world, with that same sense of Kedusha, that same sense of holiness, and that same zrizut, that same enthusiasm to do holy things as well. We say that sadness often is contagious. It is. When you're around a sad person, you feel sad. You don't want to feel good about yourself. It's true. But the same thing is true about optimism and happiness. The more we're happy, the more that we're optimistic, the more that we inspire other people to feel that same way. Let that be your Torah, and let that inspire other people to feel that same level of Kedusha and happiness and holiness that you do. That's my bracha for all of you. And I hope that you all had a wonderful and happy and meaningful Shavuot and a wonderful and happy and meaningful Shabbos. And Bezrat Hashem, we should all be able to see each other very soon again together. But in the meantime, please do all the wonderful things that you're doing and staying safe and in taking all the proper precautions. And I wish you all of the best. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Milner, for that meaningful teaching. Thank you to Rabbi Neil Blumoff for guiding us through this evening. Thank you to all of our wonderful clergy for their songs and their teaching and sharing with us. Thank you to all of you for joining in with us on Zoom and on Facebook, and for coming together to create community with us. We look forward to seeing you again very soon. Have a wonderful night.